everyone, and welcome to Business Boutique. I'm Christy Wright, and today we are talking about how to launch. Launch a product, launch a service, launch a new business. But before we dive in, I have to start by giving you a fun example. So several months ago, my team was giving me a hard time because they say I'm never here in the office. Now, it's true. A lot of times I'm offsite. I'm in video shoots or in meetings or offsite writing at a coffee shop. So they're just giving me a hard time. Oh, Christy, you're never here. You're never here. Well, in this particular week, I was here a lot. We were launching a really big project. And so I was here every day, all day, late into the night. And they just kept saying, oh, we love it when you're here. We love it having you around. It's so much more fun when you're here in the office. So on the next Monday, I'm going to show up and I'm going to surprise them with donuts. In my mind, this was the best idea. So I decided to drive through, pick up a box of donuts, and the whole drive here, I'm just imagining how excited they're going to be. I'm going to show up at a time when they don't expect me to be in the office, and I'm bringing them a surprise. I've got donuts. This is going to be the best Monday morning ever. So y'all, I get out of my car, I grab my donuts, I go rushing up to the office with my box of donuts, bust through the door like Kramer on Seinfeld. Ta-da! Nothing. Not a single person was in the office. Apparently, I had chosen a time when every single person in my team was in another meeting or somewhere else. Now, here's the thing. The donuts were still good later when we decided to eat them and laugh about this funny story. But you know what? It's interesting because it's kind of like that when we launch things in our business, right? We get this idea. We get really excited about our idea. We get all this anticipation and excitement and build up, and then we launch, and it's crickets. It's like me running into the office with my box of donuts, and no one was there. It completely flops, and we don't know what went wrong, and we don't know why that happened. You know, launching something new is both an art and a science. There are certain things you must do if your launch is going to be successful, and that is the science part. But then there are other things that you can get creative and try and experiment, and that is the art part. Now, in this show, I'm going to show you 3 things that you need to do if you're going to have a successful launch, whether it's a new product or a new project, or maybe it's just your entire business. You want to make sure that you have these 3 things. So let's dive in. The first thing that you need to have are relationships. Now, this probably seems really obvious, but let's talk about why that's important in a launch. You may not know this, but 60% of sales occur after the 4th interaction. People buy from those they know, like, and trust, which means that if you want people to buy from you, they need to know you, like you, and trust you. They need to have a relationship with you. So if you're going to launch anything, a product, a service, a business, you need to have someone to launch to. You need to have existing relationships. Even if they're not current customers, you need to have existing relationships that you're going to launch to so that those people can buy from you and so they can share with their friends that don't know you, like you, or trust you about you, and they can buy from you too. See, you can't have a successful launch if you don't have people to launch to. And you can't launch to people if you haven't spent time cultivating those relationships. People are not going to buy from you. They're not going to show up and make your launch successful if they've never heard of you before, if they don't know you, like you, or trust you. So the first thing you've got to have if you're going to have a successful launch are relationships. You need good relationships. Now, I will tell you, if you're launching your business for the first time, don't get intimidated because you might be thinking, well, I don't have any customers. That's fine. You can even use your personal Facebook account, your personal email list. You can ask for support from family and friends and that type of thing. And they can even leverage their social media accounts or their personal email list to help you get started. The bottom line is you just need people. You need relationships if this launch is going to work. So I want you to think through, who are you launching to? Maybe you have an existing customer base. Maybe you have an existing fan base online. Maybe it's just a family and friends or your church community or your full-time job work community. That's totally fine. I just want you to think through who it is if this launch is going to be successful. Otherwise, it's like you walking into an empty room with a big box of donuts, so excited, and no one is there. So the first thing you need for this launch to work are relationships. Now, the second thing you need is a date. See, here's the thing about a launch. A launch is an event. Events happen on certain dates. It's not a season. It's not a year. It happens at a specific moment in time. Now, this is really important when you're launching something because it helps you understand how your market perceives your launch. If you do this gradual rollout, it's going to go unnoticed. But if you pick a date, if you pick a moment in time and you make this launch an event that happens on that date, at that time, then it becomes this big thing that people get excited about. Because people get excited about events. They dress up for events. They put events on their calendars and they don't miss them. That's why your launch must be an event. It's going to be something that your customers are going to think about and talk about and plan for. They're not going to forget about it if you make it an event. Now, it has to happen on a certain date. It doesn't have to happen at a certain time, but you need to think through what date this launch is going to occur. And don't think of it as a small thing. Think of it as a really big, important thing because it is. Because if you think of it as a small thing, as something that's just kind of passive, that's optional, that's exactly how your customers will treat it as well. When you're picking your date, you also want to think about things going on in your business and the world. Make sure it's a good time for your customers, for your business, whatever's going on in current events, that it's not competing with a ton of stuff out there. The bottom line is you want to think of your launch as an event. And events happen on dates. So if you want this launch to be successful, you not only need relationships, you need a specific date. All right, now the third thing that you need if you want your launch to be successful is anticipation. Think about a vacation. Half of the fun of a vacation is anticipating it. Like in the cold winter months, you're thinking about that beach vacation. Oh, if I could just be on some beach somewhere with my toes in the sand and a drink in my hand. Am I right? Right? Like you anticipate it, you dream about it, you think about it. That's half the fun. And it's interesting because anticipation is powerful. Research actually shows that when we have time to anticipate something, we actually enjoy it more when it actually occurs. Isn't that interesting? Now you need anticipation in your launch. You now have a date, so you can build up all this anticipation to that specific date. You can create all type of excitement and teases and marketing and buzz and interest leading toward that specific date. Your goal is to build up all the anticipation that you possibly can. Remember, it's not just a date. It's an event, and we are going to get excited about this event, about this launch that is happening on that date. So what you want to do is after you pick your date, you're going to drill that date into your customers' minds. You're going to say it over and over and over again. You're going to do everything you can to build it up so much that they can't forget about it. They can't miss it. And oh my gosh, they are just daydreaming about it like they are daydreaming about the beach. They are so excited about this event that you have created. Now, you can do this in a lot of different ways. You can do it through your marketing, through social media, through email campaigns, branding on your website, promotions, giveaways, word of mouth marketing, you name it. The bottom line is you build up lots of anticipation around that date. Now, I want to give you a real life example. Many of you probably noticed that we just had a huge launch for our Business Boutique Academy. This went on last week, and in the months leading up to this event, this date, the date that the Academy was going to open on March 18th, we created so much excitement. There were videos and blogs and Insta stories and build up. And then once the date was here, oh my gosh, it was this big, exciting celebration because the Academy was open. Now, these are things that we actually do, and we do them because they work. But you know what? They can work for you too. If you want to have a successful launch, you need people to launch to, you need relationships. You also need a date that this event is going to occur. Remember, it's not just a launch, it's an event. And then you need anticipation and buildup and excitement leading to that launch. If you do those three things, your next launch will be a huge success. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you missed your chance at joining the Academy last week, that's okay. You can join our waitlist at businessboutique.com and be the first to find out the next time we open.